Hi everyone, V here, and welcome back to Wani Gator. Last time we managed to drag Olivia out to the rest of the barbecue and got thanked for it by being dunked into the swimming pool. And if I remember correct, we got some interesting praise for our submission for the art contest. Let's see how things are going to turn out so far. I still don't know if we are making a lot of good or bad choices, but I guess we'll get to see soon enough. Or everything will just come crashing down at me at once. Near the end when it's too late to fix anything. One way or another, let's get right into it. ... Okay. On my way to photography, I'm still a bit caught up by what just happened. Alright, because we ended our previous episode right after finishing the lunch break, and for some reason Olivia wheeled out without a word, so I'm not quite sure what was that about. I think I'm starting to see how Ben accomplished that. I mean, ordinarily an incident that embarrassing would be just detrimental to your social standing. Alright, because Ben face planted into a meatloaf. On my first day, I went through something like that, an event so humiliating people were spreading rumors for days. Sure, they died out pretty quick, but the fact is it happened. One moment everything is fine, then suddenly something you couldn't have even seen coming just upends your life. Stuff like that can happen all the time and to anyone. It's something that's always terrified me. It's something that just happened to Ben, only he was exempt. He was quick on his feet and diffused the situation faster than could have even really started. Because that's how it works. If something embarrassing happens to you and then you dwell on this shit and keep digging yourself into that hole deeper and deeper, then people are going to keep grilling you about it. But if you quickly manage to bounce back, you just gotta learn how to do it, people are going to move on in less than a day. It's like disaster avoidance. No, it's called social skills, dude. I seriously think is the most important skill one can have. It's very high on the list. Have everything under control, to see trouble from a mile away and make it a non-issue even when it takes you by surprise. That sort of social capital is something I need. Maybe it's a little selfish, but if I was seen that way, then any sudden happenings would be forgiven instantly. Of course, Ben isn't alone. The world is full of people with that skill, only I'd be lying if I said most of them deserved it. Most people able to get away with stuff use their unique ability for just that, getting away with stuff. What should be seen as a blessing of a social buffer is just some enabling trait of theirs, a charismatic get-out-of-jail-free card. I cannot disagree with that, like... Yeah, fair enough, I'm not going to, yeah. If I had that ability, I needed to push myself to my limits both artistically and productively. That's my ultimate goal. Just be careful for the burnout. Ben is one of the good ones, definitely. He's definitely earned my respect over this. The question remains though, how do I get like that? That line of thinking is cut off as I round the next corner. Oh dear. Wanted attack with Olivia. At the center of the hallway intersection, I see Mia and Olivia. And two rather familiar silhouettes. Oh, calm the fuck on now, Olivia. Don't be such a killjoy. I'm trying to be nice here. The grin on Mia's face is jovial as she stands before the wheelchair-bound girl, her tail lazily swaying as she eyes Olivia. Man, I never realized how lethal those spikes on her tail look. I mean, they look actually freaking... like she's actually sharpening them or something. After all, I have to be nice to someone as talented as Olivia, don't I? Behind her are a pair of similarly smiling Saurian girls. Actually, wait a minute. Those two. Like I said, they have a really familiar silhouette. They're Mia's friends? I mean, she knows her way around a palette and canvas. Right, Olivia? A paraplegic Picasso here. Ah, that's kinda low. That's you, right? I can't imagine how useless you must feel otherwise. You're a bitch. I'm so glad you're able to put those thoughts and paint some things you like. Mia takes a step towards Olivia, her previous expression taking on a more ominous air. Yet for all that talent and untapped potential, you seem to lack some of the basic expected of functioning young adults. Mia's lips part, revealing a cruel grin. I hear you've been really dirty, messy little baby, leaving your stuff everywhere in class and getting it all over the place. Alright, because Ben grilled us that he had to clean up her mess. And I should have seen it coming that Mia would try to take it out on Olivia. They should stick you in a cute little bib. Kiara and Lunara laugh, jeering loudly at Olivia. Okay, so they are just orbiters, okay. Mia snaps her finger, causing the two of them to go quiet. I still don't want to believe it. Those two? They're so nice to me. What are you doing with Mia? I know them, they're smart. They know if this is what it looks like, it's horrible. And they're not the kind of people to punch down like this. Are you sure about that? But they all decided to do this, right? So what's going on? Is there more to this situation? Mia takes another step forward, her figure now looming over Olivia as she looks down with a cruel sneer on her lips. Normally I wouldn't waste my time trying to single you out, but I'm gonna use this moment to make you get a picture. Benny was supposed to join me for lunch, but he had to stay behind to clean up after your mess. Yeah, that's what I said. That's probably why she's grilling us. Okay. Glad to have it confirmed. You got your wishes, you can't ride a bike, whatever. That's your fucking problem. Stop making it mine, Olivia. Or do I need to start being a problem for you? Yeah, does Ben look like a nanny? Oh, come on, shut up. Well, she does come pre-packaged with a stroller. That was fucking low. Come on, Mia, that's crossing the line. Okay, I was wondering if we said it. No, okay, Lunara. Not like she can stand up to you or anyone. Guys, for fuck's sake, really? Really, no, that's... I like dark humor, but that's fucking crossing the line. What? I'm just chatting with Liv here. But if I did hurt your feelings, I'm really, really sorry. Fuck you. Kiara's beak clicks loudly and repetitively while Lunara's hand covers her mouth to hide a giggle. Oh, don't take it so personally, Livia, I'm just teasing ya. Right, Liv? We're all just one big happy family here. Lord knows some of us here could use one. Once again, fuck you. Fuck you very much. And I thought I get horrible when I get pushed to a certain extent. I don't know how to respond to that. I want to keep both sides of the story here. What history Mia and Olivia have for confrontation like this? I think getting this upset over her missing lunch with Ben is extreme, but Mia's friends remain by her side. Completely steadfast against Olivia. Isn't that bad? And yet Olivia says nothing to her. She has her head atop her knuckles of her hand like I would during Prockling's history lessons. Okay, so she basically doesn't give a fuck. That's also a good approach. There were moments where Olivia's tail would press into the floor, shifting her chair back or to the side. It looked like she was attempting to sidestep the conversation with that muscular tail, but Mia's own movements cut off her escape attempts. Mia returns the calm stare. There's no motion, but the staring contest was a fight in its own way. And the first to look away would lose. Olivia's pretty indifference against Mia's piercing gaze. Okay. Kiara ends up dropping her phone and both glare at her simultaneously. A draw. Kiara, I swear I'll kill you one of these days. Olivia takes the opportunity to move past Mia. Very good. Mia takes no time to toughen her stance and continue her spew of insults. What, leaving so soon? No response. And so quickly, that's almost normal walking speed. Once again, fuck you very much. I was honestly thinking you need a cooler nickname to go with your need for speed. Hot Wheels. Oh, she struck a nerve. In an instant, Olivia stops to squeaking halt. Gone was her stoic face, and its place were eyes wide with shock. How the hell? Olivia's pace falters. Mia quickly steps ahead again and places a foot on her left wheel. Your brain-dead Finnehead friend told me back in gym class. He went on about how you had it back when you were still spoiling your diapers. Honestly, I think you should embrace it. So say it. Well? Oh. Are you right, you stupid bitch? Fucking say it. Oh, come on, don't. God, do you need fucking speech therapy too? Say it. Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels. See, I knew you could do it. Kinda fitting. I agree with half of it. Olivia's claws dig into her armrests. Maybe we can fucking step in, finally. Maybe there's the nuance. The point is that only half of it works. Once again, fuck you very much. I'm like getting uncomfortable here. Mia turns to look at Kiara and Lunara, eliciting some more giggling from them. I'm sure you wouldn't mind us making it cool again though, right? I mean, you were such a winner back then. Mia leans in close, her voice now a harsh, stage whisper as she glares back through Olivia. What's wrong, Hot Wheels? Don't want to talk anymore? Am I not good enough for you? Even from afar, I can tell that Olivia is starting to lose her composure. Her tail lays limp on the floor, as if the energy to hold it was drained away. Oh my god. I think this is bullying. No shit. How did you figure that out? I didn't want to believe it. But it's undeniable by now. This is textbook bullying. It's unfair. Jesus fuck, you are such a sheltered kid and go. It's like when you're in line to use the restroom after hours and hours of waiting and someone cuts in front of you. Completely inexcusable. No, I don't have a comment for that. Is this the part where I should step in? What do I even say? I have to at least try, right? It's my duty as a fellow student. Maybe I don't need to say anything at all, just being present for Olivia against the Horde. And it certainly wouldn't help if I got an even bigger target on my back for Mia. Olivia wrenches herself free from Mia's foot and continues down the hall. The others follow like vultures. Oh man, I need to think and act fast. My legs move on their own and I cross into the hallway. I'm instantly noticed. Mia's already registered my presence and her expression changes. My heart starts beating quicker and harder. Time's up for being indecisive. Okay, so we have a choice. Defend Olivia, show support for Olivia. You know what? To be 100% honest, defending does not seem like the best idea. But it's mostly because of the fact that Inko is such a fucking pussy. I'm pretty sure that he would just give some sort of textbook speech about bullying and such. Plus, still letting Mo's words ring. The secret to love is support, and I'm pretty damn sure that Olivia would appreciate support way more than someone trying to step in and acting as a white knight or something like that. So, yeah, going with support. As much as I want to go off on Mia and her posse, Olivia wouldn't want me to try standing up for her again. Not after how I tried to handle it with Ben. Besides, I'd probably fumble the words and make myself look like a fool anyway. That's what I said. So there's really not much I can do. But what I can do is nothing. Say nothing, do nothing, just wait for Olivia to pass by. She stops a bit in confusion, but quickly remembers she's currently on the run. When she passes by, I follow down the same hallway, slowing my pace to be slightly behind her. That's actually a very, very good choice. Olivia turns to look at me with equal parts surprise and dread. I think a part of her feels that I'm about to say or do something really stupid. Instead, I merely give a warm smile. Being picked on by that many people at once, all certain they're doing no wrong, is terrifying. In moments like this, she should know that someone's got her back. Even if I have nothing to offer, at least the playing field will be a bit less one-sided. Now that she has someone beside her... The hell? Hey, I know that jacket! And I know that bullseye for a head from a mile away. The group starts following behind us. Olivia glances over to me and I return another small smile. Well, if it ain't a baldy. Coming in to save the day or something? I don't respond. Instead, I keep my head forward and keep on walking with Olivia. That's the best thing you can do, and it pisses them off to no end, which makes it all that better. This seems to catch me a bit off guard, as I can hear the gears in her mind visibly start to turn. Hey, I'm still talking to you, Hot Wheels. The sound of shuffling boots start to gain on us. Just because you have Baldy here now to protect you isn't gonna save your hide. Neither him or any of the dipshit friends. I can see Olivia's claws digging into her armrest at the nickname, but otherwise she maintains her apathetic leer. The more we walk, the more obscenities Mia keeps blurting out to try and get a rise out of either of us. This is why you don't have any real friends, you skipless salamander. I don't know if Olivia has a plan, because I can't fully understand why she's letting Mia walk over her like this. But I remain steadfast and believe that she knows what she's doing. It's all I really can do. Who would even want to be with a cripple like ya? Fuck off, bitch. I can hear Mia laughing at her own words. Olivia, please change your mind and wage this bitch. I'm totally with you on that. I'm totally with you on that one. Ah, so you got something to say now, Hot Wheels? She shrugs. If that's how you feel, Mia. What? Oh, that's actually a fucking clever response. But whatever you say, I don't care, I'm above this. Olivia doesn't say anything else, she only turns around and begins to wheel herself down the hallway. For a moment I stand in place and watch as Mia tries to process what happened. Even her posse looks confused, unsure of what to say. You really got her, Mia. Yeah, definitely show that leathery bitch. Mia jerks her head to her cohorts and glares at them, ended by the pity comments. Then she stares me down with obsidian daggers in her eyes. Well, that's my cue to leave. With the grace of a headless chicken, I scrambled down the hallway to catch up with Olivia. That was fucking beautiful. That's fucking beautiful. If someone's up in your face, just, okay, whatever makes you feel better, I'm out. Olivia, you got my respect. Rounding the corner, there's no Olivia to be found. Where'd she go? Maybe the accommodations elevator? I suddenly hear Lunara's voice echoing down the hall, followed closely by Mia's. Mia, what are you doing? Get back here, you fucks! Oh no, no. Not alone, not with them. Dread fills me as I hear the pursuing predator's heavy footsteps approach me. I'm grabbed from behind. I'm dead. Whoa! Suddenly, I'm violently pulled aside. Right into the school's elevator by the collar of my jacket. I knew that she was in the elevator. You do not disappear in a corridor just like that. Yeah, when you are bound to a wheelchair, sorry, but yeah. Oh, thank God it wasn't Mia. She jams the key into the slot and smashes the button to the second level. As the doors close, we hear Mia roar out for us. Next time I see those two again, I'll make sure that oversized cue ball has to use that wheelchair of ours instead. Thankfully, the elevator doors close shut, and the car jerks upwards before making its ascent. Never knew I'd feel grateful to be in the death trap. As I catch the breath I had unknowingly held, my eyes align with a pair of silver serpentine eyes. I appreciate what you did for me back there. I'm surprised. Not sure what to say back, really. Instead, I smile back and nod. In return, she gives me a half smile before recomposing herself. You should roll with me in the elevator now. How come? Well, you just become enemies with her. If she sees you, you'll be a wad of gum under her boot. Oh, joy. Yeah, your best bet is just to avoid her now. This way you stay out of the hallways. I appreciate it. Don't mention it. Wait, the elevator will stop Mia from beating the snot out of me and the entire rest of the school? Yes. We hear the small electronic bing of the elevator and the doors slide open. Oh god, history. History class is as bland as it usually is. Franklin continues prattling on about some sort of historical event. I gotta ask, do you have history like every single day, or we are just this lucky to constantly stumble upon days where we are studying history? But most of my attention is on Olivia. She has her hoodie over her head and looks lost in thought. That altercation must have shaken her up more than I thought it would be. Part of me wants to ask if she'll be okay, even though I'll really asked 3 times already. But last thing I'd want to do is prod at her. Soon enough, class nears its end and Olivia uses her accommodation to leave the class early. Besides, we can talk about it after school if she wants to anyways. The more I think about it, the more I realize that I had my first real confrontation with a bully at a school. I heard once that when you get in a fight for the first time, you throw up from the adrenaline. No fists were thrown, but I feel about the same right now. I mean, not incorrect. If you have a very weak stomach, then yes, it can happen. But there is this boiling feeling in your gut, and it's terrible. I wring my hands together to try steadying them. Geez, I'm a wood. But at least you can notice this about yourself, that's an improvement. I stood up to Mia with Olivia, and I end up in this mess. The final class ends, and I'm set free for the day. Okay, Damien getting his ass chewed out. At least, judging by expressions. Stepping out of St. Ham's main entrance, I'm surprised to see my friends huddled together in a tightly knit group. I usually don't see any of them after school. I always assume they left as soon as the bell rang. Hey guys, what's going... Inko! Damien looked exceptionally worried as he glances at me. Inko, you believe me, right? Pardon? Olivia's nostrils flared with an exasperated snort. I didn't mean for any of that to happen. What's the matter, Damien? When Mia asked about the nickname stuff from so long ago, I just blurted it out. She didn't say she'd use it for something so unscrupulous. I'm ashamed it took me more than a moment to figure out what was happening. Yes, Damien feels culpable for what Mia said, but why? You don't know what that word means. Who cares? Inko, really, I didn't mean for any of that to happen. Hey, I believe you, man. Your heart was in the right place. Olivia told us what happened with Mia calling her some nickname. Damien leaned back over an unresponsive Olivia, hands spread in supplication. She said you were there too. I was, yeah. Olivia, you loved that nickname way back when we were kids. Damien's words were dismissed with a roll of her smoky eyes. You really didn't mean it, Olivia. I know already. For a split second, she bore row upon a row of sharp teeth before gnashing her maw in frustration. Olivia's nostrils flare out with a puff of hot breath again, and I could practically see everything from her day finally weigh on her. You were just being you again, Damien. Sometimes I wish you weren't, but whatever. There's a grittiness to her voice once more, but she continues on. She holds her canteen up to her lips, but drops it immediately. Empty again. The grit in her voice is back, but she presses on. And the nickname is just that, a nickname. I don't want to hear it again. Especially from her, and especially if it's just to get under my skin. Olivia stares at Damien for a while before breaking the contact to glance at Liz and I. Why not? Wait, did I say that? Yes, you did. Why did I add that? It just kind of came out. Liz notices Damien's still organizing his thoughts. Seeing as neither of the others are going to answer coherently, she sighs. Well, I wasn't around for this, but... When they were freshmen in middle school, Damien and Olivia would take the bus every weekend to the arcade in the city. I guess he came up with a nickname around then, and it stuck. That's half right, but I didn't come up with it. I brought a chunk of change for us to play stuff with each other. A match on just about anything there was a quarter, probably still is. But I don't think I won even once. Once she stood doing something, it's like a switch went off in her head. I'd never seen Olivia get like that. Some of the teenagers were watching too, they saw everything. A couple challenged her once I ran out of cash, and sure enough, she ended up clearing house all afternoon. It was all she talked about at school all week until we could go back for more. Only took like a month for her to be recognized as some local champion. Sometime along the way, people started calling her Hot Wheels. Don't remember really who or when. But I do know it's proof she's got that fire in her. That was a nice speech. Wow, yeah, that's... I had fun back then. I guess I forgot I was supposed to bring it up. Have things really changed that much? And you did. Again. Damien hisses to himself. Sorry. Just can't help yourself. But you're right. That was the best time of my life. The name Hot Wheels belongs to the 10-year-old me. Not current me. Hey, that's a great story. To be recognized so well that you get a cool nickname? It sounds amazing being a champion, being a winner. Why all the disdain for the title? I'm not. What? I'm not a winner anymore. Because you don't go to the arcade anymore? If it's one of the one I'm thinking of, it's only like half-hour away. Olivia looks at Liz like she just recommended everyone watch the newest Netsticks anime. But I'm with Liz on that, I'm sorry, but... Well, if this story's anything to go by, I'd like to see her be a winner again. Oh, that's a lovely line. Olivia's breath seems to hitch for a moment. And I'm sure these guys want to see it too. Name is the one that dragged you to a lunch table all this time, right? Look at him, he's nearly killed over because he's afraid of losing that part of you. And Liz? I think I'd like to see why you and Damien are really close friends. Yeah. And just as quick as I gained the bravado to speak up, my words left me immediately. I think I accidentally put Olivia on the spot there. Whoops. Well... Her tail rolls along the ground, a bit in contemplation. If you guys really care that much about it, I wouldn't mind it from you guys. All at once, Damien lights up. Yes! Alright, Hot Wheels is back. You guys now refers to Liz and Inko. Damien's shoulders drop for a moment, but he quickly recovers. Hey, if we're getting name out again, we should go visit the arcade together sometime. I'd rather not. Okay then, how about a better name, like... Death Roll. Perfect. Olivia swings her tail around to trip him, but he's fast enough to jump over it. Damien's words flood out as he contemplates new nicknames for Olivia to try and appease her, many of which are shut down by her or leave Liz and I chuckling. That was totally adorable. Gradually, our giggles died down and the four of us chatted a bit more about the day in general. Eventually, Damien and Liz headed their respective ways, with Olivia deciding to stick around. Most of the school has filtered out their various homebound rides all to their after-school activities, leaving Olivia and I all alone. Hey, I'll roll with you. Really? I mean, I don't mind, of course. It's nothing. House is only a few blocks away anyway. Besides, I'm sure someone would beat you up and take your lunch money if I didn't. There's plenty of time to make it to the next train, so the two of us take it easy. The sun finally managed to break through the autumn clouds, making the walk almost unseasonably warm. Man, I thought the last day of summer was weeks ago. Ha, it was. I don't mind it staying warm longer though. Feels pretty great to me. Ah. That face of content. Lovely. Olivia gives her chair an extra hard push, letting herself glide by unaided for long enough to stretch out her arms to bask in the sunlight. I might have figured you'd like the heat. Oh, what? Because I'm a dino? No, not like that. I'm just playing. Relax. You're pretty touchy on that stuff, aren't you? The two of us finally make it to the train platform, nestled as it is off the main street. I can see the train a few blocks away, our walk timed up with its arrival perfectly. I just think it's important to be educated, it's all. Even if you're, the only human at our school? Olivia flashes me a cheeky grin as my train pulls up. I've got to admit, but her mischievous nature is a little infectious. As the train doors open, I leave Olivia with one final jab, something I know she'd appreciate. Hey, whatever you say, Hot Wheels. I neatly dodge out of the way of her slashing claws, stepping smartly onto the train as the doors close. Inko, you son of a bitch! Get back here! Lovely. As doors ding shut behind me, I can see an irate and still blushing Olivia waving her fist as the train begins to pull away. Still giggling, I manage to squeeze myself into a seat next to a yellow-scaled woman, smelling pinkly of hot dogs. Hi, Tracy. You know, I may pay for that comment later. But the look on her face was totally worth it. As the school year progresses, the days start to feel like they're moving along much faster. Part of it may be the change of the season, however slight the change might be. While the calendar says it's officially fall, the only thing I've really noticed was the increasing number of clouds in the sky. Better safe than sorry though, which is why I brought my fancy compact carbon fiber umbrella. Of course. Still, things have started to be routine for me in the mornings. Wake up, throw on my clothes, consider eating breakfast before realizing I'd wrecked my stomach, walk to the station with a pedalite umbrella in hand, and talk to Mr. Ferris, I guess. And wouldn't you know it, I end up having another chat with Mr. Ferris on the ride to school. Hello, Mr. Ito. How are you this morning? Doing fine, sir, thank you, and how are you? I'm doing well. So, my niece told me over the weekend that you and Olivia were in a predicament of some sort. Yeah, Olivia was being picked on by someone, but it's not a problem anymore. I see. Well, that's unfortunate to hear, and strange considering the substantial funding the school gets for anti-student harassing programs. What good is all that tax money if classmates are still ragging on each other? If it means anything, Olivia knows how to handle herself. I was there to support her. That's fine, but the issue is this sort of thing shouldn't be happening to begin with. That aside, this has gotten somewhat enthusiastic recently regarding Olivia. She's surprised at how animated she's gotten. Ever since that get-together at Randall's place, I think. I'd wager it has something to do with it, no? Maybe a little. Yeah, it was certainly rocky in the beginning, but we've been warming up to each other. It's nice seeing a different side of her, even if it's brief. I don't know, can I take credit for that? We all have unique chances to make a change, Inko. If you're good at grasping them, that in itself is something to be proud of. How do you know it's really a chance to do anything? He lets out a deep, reverberating chuckle. Well, to flip our usual script and let you in on an old phrase, a friend of mine once told me, if you see a fork in the road, take it. Yeah? Thanks, Mr. Ferris. Yeah, the old-timer advice versus new-timer advice are completely different worlds. Like my mornings, the school days have become a routine as well. Slave through PE with Damien, see Olivia's new doodles and sketches in art class, watch Liz lose her mind tutoring Damien at lunch, talk shop with Ben. Though now I have to avoid Mia like the plague because she's surely out to kill me. All said, I think St. Hammonds has been my best school experience out of... Man, I lost count of how often I've moved. Must be the fresh head trauma. As for today, it's been raining pretty often recently, so Coach Sully made us play more dodgeball in the gym. Okay, as much as Mia is a bitch, I gotta admit that in this outfit she looks real good. And with hair tied up like that. Mia was definitely gunning for me with the way she launched them at me with the speed of a catapult. I rest in Yadakan's class, popping my spine against the curve of my chair. Apparently today is a short day because of some assembly, so the period will end much earlier than usual. Are you going to get exposed for having photoshopped anime chicks once again, or... It also means we got most of the period to slack off, do homework. I glance at the desk next to me in the hopes of catching Olivia's latest artistic masterpiece when I notice she's not drawing and instead only fidgeting. Hey Olivia, you seem a bit nervous. Everything alright? Oh, yeah, sorry, it's just that I've been hearing rumors that the school's shared drive might have been corrupted. Wait, really? Yeah, really. How would something like that happen? Not sure, but I'm scared that it might have messed with the art contest submissions. I think you should check out your entry on the website just to make sure it's okay. That's foreboding. Technology, don't fail me now. With urgency, I take out my phone and type in the school's website. Fast fingers lead me to the art contest tab. Can this loading bar go any slower? You cannot let technology feel that you are in a stress or in a hurry. It will go slower. Finally, the page loads in and... Oh. Looks like the submissions have been closed. What? I held the phone up for Olivia to show her the page. The submissions have been closed since voting started last week. Oh. Sheesh, I thought Mr. Yadakan had spooked me. Olivia's all seized up. Well, that's quite reassuring. With the submissions closed, there's no chance of any hacker messing with them. Olivia doesn't seem convinced, still drumming her fingers on her desk. Hopefully she'll feel loads better when the preliminary winners are revealed. Speaking of which, what... Speak of the devil. As the bell sounds, the class begins to pack their things and Yadakan corrals everybody into a single file line. Alright everybody, we have an assigned role, so stick together. Before I join the rest of the line, I look back at Olivia, who seems to be stalling. Come on, I'll walk with you. There seems to still something in her, and she glances up to me while hastily shoving a notebook in her bag. Yeah, I'm coming. As we head out the door, I notice Olivia shuffling her hoodie a lot. Something's heating her up. At least I think so, I guess. It's not a long walk to the auditorium, and despite Yadakan's best attempts, most of the class splinters off to sit with her friends. Having expected this, he shrugs and makes his way over to the back of the auditorium where the other teachers are. Olivia and I are left to the struggling crowd trying to filter into the cramped theater of the school. It's going to be difficult finding some seats. It's fine, I have a spot. Olivia wheels herself down the pathway, which I follow suit. She heads down the aisle until we're at the first row of seats. There's a vacant spot where a typical seat would be with a faded handicap sign. Olivia parks her chair into the empty spot, to which I take a seat next to her. Best seats in the house, right? Can't complain. As the hall fills with more students, my anticipation rises. Oh man, I can hardly wait for the announcements. So, do you think I have a chance? Huh? Oh, maybe. Photography isn't super popular, but... Olivia folds her hands on her lap, staring straight ahead as her voice trails off. I knew that, but I'm still hopeful. Hey guys! That's great. I have to remind myself that this is normal. Hey Liz. I can't believe it's finally here. Gosh, I'm so excited. Me too. By the way, where's Damien? Hey guys! I'm over here! Damien's in the back of the auditorium, yelling and waving his hand in the air to catch our attention. He's going to get in trouble for that. Frills, sit down! Damien immediately stops and takes a seat. With tempered expectations, we both sit in silence for just a few minutes before Principal Scalar walks on stage and taps on a standing microphone. Okay everyone, got a whole bunch of important announcements to make, so I'll make them quick so we can all have an early lunch. Oh, she's tired of everything. As soon as the idea of going for an early lunch is brought up by Principal Scalar, the entire room goes as silent as a vigil. I guess when it comes to an early lunch, it's serious business. Over the next 15 minutes, Principal Scalar goes over important events coming up in the school year. Most I would consider standard things like pep rallies for the sports teams or bake sales to fundraise for upcoming field trips, and even something about new clubs being formed, such as the Japanese Animation Appreciation Society. JAAPs. Japs, come on. Not the best acronym if I have to say. Otherwise, it's all mostly boring housekeeping stuff when one got right down to it. I almost wonder why such an announcement warranted an assembly when the mood suddenly shifts with Scalar's next big announcement. And once again, I freaking knew it, the cat on her cup is changing expressions along with her. Which is freaking adorable. Now that we got the main stuff out of the way, I say the best announcements for last. St. Helen is proud to announce the 5 semi-finalists for the annual Fresh Start Art Contest. Cheers and applause roars, loud enough to make my ears ring. Yet I'd be lying if I said I also wasn't excited for the reveal of just who had made it to the semi-finals. Maybe I was giving myself a bit too much credit, but I really wanted to be among those semi-finalists. I can almost taste victory, in fact. I turn to face Olivia and prepare to cheer alongside her, but I'm stopped in my tracks when I notice that unlike the rest of her peers, Olivia seemed to be uneasy about the prospect. Maybe unpleasant memories? Almost scared even. Before I can ask Olivia why her sudden change in mood, Scalar continues with her next words, cutting my train of thought off. And here we have the 5 semi-finalists. The pieces of the 5 skillful students who had beaten all the other competitors came up, followed by the names of the victors right about them. Alas, I see no photography submission in sight. At least I gave it a shot, right? Oh man, I didn't make it in. Liz's neck droops down like a melancholy noodle. I can't help but feel pity for the bummed-up Brachiosaurus. Okay, I'm guessing that's phone buzzing. Checking my phone, I see. Tell Liz to come back here, bro. I'm sure Damien's got it handled. I love how she didn't even need to move from her spot, just extend her neck. That's That's great. Despite my solid mood, I look back to the semi-final winners and can't help but be amazed by them. Each artwork is impressive in their own right, their colors blending wonderfully and the face beautifully designed. It's easy to see why these were voted as the winners. The last one especially catches my eye. The scenic landscape with the setting sun looks stunning. If not for the slight stylization of the skyline and fantastical color palette, it could probably pass off as a real photograph with some filters pasted over it. I'm no art critic yet, but if I were, I'd label it as a masterpiece and easily the best out of all of them. Let's give our winners a big round of applause. The auditorium fills with the usual kind of clapping one would expect in an event like this. Polite with an underlying tone of disinterest, though one person felt compelled to constantly make a piercingly high whistle. We'll be displaying the winners' art pieces in room 237. You're welcome to view them during lunch and after school today. Oh, neato! Principal Scaler continues the rest of the assembly, announcing other events for the school and other minor reminders. Behind me I see the teachers start psyching themselves up for the Herculean task of getting some 200 hungry dinosaur teenagers out of the room and towards lunch without anyone getting killed. Yeah, that might be a small issue. Principal Scaler finishes and waves back then to signal it's time. Alright, we're going to start adjourning to lunch. You all know how this goes, so no just going for the exit. Being in the first row, we're the first to get up. I follow behind Olivia until we make it to the hall. Hey, Olivia. She stops and turns a bit. Geez, is she still anxious about the sighting earlier? She looks a little pale. I wanted to check out the winning paintings a bit more. Want to come along? She considers for a moment. Nah, go on without me. I need to use the restroom. Alright, I'll see you at the lunch table then. Olivia nods and starts down the hall following the flow of students toward the lunchroom. Let's see, the principal said it was room 237. First thing I noticed walking into the classroom is the amount of people checking out the gallery. While I didn't expect it to be filled to the brim with the eager students, there's a decent amount of people here, about a baker's dozen or so. Maybe more will come when they finish up their lunches. Well, I'm here now, let's take a look at the lucky winners. The pieces are all set on easels in the back of the classroom. Some desks and chairs are moved closer to the front to give each one its own space. One by one, I take a moment to give each canvas a thorough review. The auditorium screen really didn't give the art justice because now I can really take in the detail of each one by being up close. The color palettes, the brushwork, the subtle nuances. Yeah, I can definitely see all of them having a good shot at getting first prize. But now it's time to see the one I've been eager to get a look at since it was first shown. Okay, I see a landscape. Sorry, I gotta... Okay, when I squint a little bit, I see the landscape. I guess it's harder for me to see because I'm actually pretty close to the screen, but if you take a step back, I do see nice mountains. I'm guessing there's some sort of like a river going through the valley. Autumn-colored trees. That actually looks pretty nice. Kind of gives off a Bob Ross vibe. From what I recall from Mr. Yatakan's lessons, it's made with acrylics, explaining why the colors of it seem more vibrant. It stands out in defiance to the other paintings he casted, most of which were either violently absurdist and meaningless or muted still lives of ordinary objects. It's a meadow of mystifying colors, the organic lines drawing the viewer deeper into peace, and I feel as though this would be a place I'd wake up to within a fantastical dream. There's no rigid structure or forced metaphors here, it's just a fantastical merger of creative expressions and real-world beauty. I feel my fingers itching for the familiar weight of my DSLR. this is a piece that I want to immortalize in my portfolio. It's hands down the winner of the contest in my eyes. I simply must find out who made this. Looks like this breathtaking show of artistic talent was created by semi-finalist winner... Excuse me, what? That's a problem. Ah, Inko, I'm glad you swung by. Looks like you're admiring the art contest entries. I told you that St. Hammond's artistic programs were unparalleled. That's not mine. What's not yours? I tried to say more, but the words won't leave my mouth. Ben's eyes follow mine to the bottom of the painting in front of me, and I watch as he makes the same realization as I do. Inko, you didn't... Did you paint this? I had no idea your style was so developed, so humble. If I had known... That's not my entry! It's not? No, mine was a photograph. But what's your name doing on this one? Must be some kind of mistake, a million scenarios come to mind. They must have got the wrong name somehow. If they did, I think the real artist would have come forward by now. Then the submission website must be hacked or broken. There are school checks for stuff like that. If it was, we would have known by now. Then, Inko, you're sure you didn't submit somebody else's piece by accident? Of course I didn't. Why would I do something like that? You're the only one who can log into your account, Inko. Suddenly everything stops. My account. Did somebody... Look, relax, alright? We can get this sorted out. Just don't panic. Ben lowers his voice. But Inko, just to be clear. What? You didn't just get a bit of extra help, right? Ben looks at me through the edge of his glasses eye to eye. There's some real stakes in the contest. Cheating is taken seriously. Especially fraud. The word echoes around inside me. Fraud. It makes my bones chill. There's ingenuine, faker, liar. They're all bad in different ways, but... fraud is just dripping with frigid condemnation. No, I swear I submitted a photograph. Ben relaxes his shoulders. Alright, just making sure. Sorry to alarm you. It's perturbing how he can go from deadly serious to jovial like a flipped switch. In a way. You're going to be alright? Sorry, I need some air. Hey, feel free. I'll let Skeller know, okay? Yeah, thanks, Ben. No problem, take it easy. Ben offers me an airless smile, waving at me as he steps out of the room and down the hall. After some time, I follow him, shambling down the hall as I try to make sense of what just happened. I thought everybody actually liked my photography. But they all thought I was some kind of expert painter instead. Yeah, that realization is a bitch. I don't even know how to express it. I feel empty. I thought maybe my hard work was finally paying off, but... I submitted the right entry, so what happened? Did somebody change it? And if so, how? It's such a good piece too. Whatever is there to be gained by putting my name on it? I wander aimlessly through the halls. The thought of missing lunch passes through my mind, but there's a different sort of emptiness pervading my stomach. Why is this rattling me like it is? Man, it's not like I'm in trouble or anything. Ben's helping me sort this out. I'm at loss of what to even think right now. Oh crap, Olivia mentioned something about server issues before. I couldn't see my submission, but... was it just that? Maybe Olivia was right to be worried? Well, duh. Why else would she be so nervous? My aimless walking leads me outside the principal's office in the gala. There's that one cityscape painting from the start of the school year. The very first painting I ever saw here, and still one of the best. A vibrant cityscape that molds the rigid structure of urban planning, into a soft and inviting utopia. as if viewed from the eyes of a child. The sky above the city is a beautiful shade of crimson with radiant clouds clustered along its length. If the Art Contest submission was the best painting I've ever seen, then this one comes close. I can only imagine the accolades she must have gotten for painting this back then. You know, for a while I got to have that experience. I get to step in the shoes of an artist much better than myself. Maybe that was the intent. All the praise, approval, everything I've been wanting. Just for a while it was given by an anonymous stranger. Whoever that might be. Actually, this gives me a bit of an idea. If I'm clever and Olivia's up for it, this can be a cool way to get her to show off her painting more. Everyone would like that. Maybe that's what she needs. I could act as, like, a personal publisher for her so she doesn't have to deal with people. Wait a second. I peeled down the empty hallway. I need to find Olivia. She couldn't possibly. But why me? Why would she? Thinking about it only increases my worries and desperation to find who I hope to rap that Jesus isn't the culprit. Ah, right, the thought that maybe... I don't know, that maybe she hacked the website, but then she began to feel sorry for us. And warned us, but it was too late, I guess? I haphazardly check all the places where Olivia could be, but I can't find her anywhere. My hunt for the baryonyx leads me to the second floor of the atrium. It feels like there's a lead brick in the pit of my stomach as I internalize my current situation. The soft pattering of rain hitting the window grabs my attention to see a gloom-covered vol caldera outside. My eyes wander along the school's pathway covered in mud thanks to the earlier rainfall. Wait a minute. Those look like cracks in the mud. I burst through the main entrance door, and I'm met with a feeling of droplets hitting my head. Outside, a dark overcast has rolled in. The forecast called for an on and off rain during the day, but pretty gnarly clouds. Makes it look almost dusk around. Crap, what am I wasting time for? I follow the trail with urgency, fearing that rain will wash it away. Looks like it goes down the whole pathway. I ignore my clothes becoming progressively damp and water collecting on my sheets. Eventually, I round the curve that leads to the bridge and see a distressing item at its end. Oh. Oh, this cannot be good. A wheelchair. Olivia's wheelchair. Empty of the occupant, toppled on its side. A new fear grips at me, born from the mental imagery provided by that sight. Those cruel thoughts push me up the steps faster than humanly possible, even as my rational mind tries to reassure me. Running across the deck, my breath is caught in my throat when I reach the middle. She's on the ground, head slumped down. There's damaged and soaked school supplies scattered all over the walkway. Oh god, is she okay? My foot shifts, trying to force me closer. Slowly, her head lifts up to the sound of my shoes squelching on the floor. Inko? Her tear-stained eyes stare at me with dead expression, and her voice sounds weak. Olivia? I feel I can finally breathe again. Slowly, Olivia pushes herself up, and I notice she is lying atop a pile of paper shreddings. The feeling of relief slowly fades away, and I remember just why I was looking for her. We stay silent, only staring at each other as the rain continues to bear down on us. She simply sits there, letting herself grow more and more soaked from the rain. Oh, there will be a lot of unpacking to do. Do you want to talk? No, not out in the open. I grab my compact umbrella from my backpack and unfurl it. It doesn't do much to dry Olivia off, but at least she's not getting more soaked. The umbrella is placed between us and the elements against the ledge, forming a personal canopy above us. Here, now we're alone. There's a space next to Olivia to take a seat. Oh. It's odd. We've sat together before, but sitting out on the ground in the rain. And the room is just a little claustrophobic. There's bits of paper melted onto the pavement soaked by rain. Though torn apart and waterlogged, I can sort of make out a tree. A rough sketch of one anyway. Like the one that stood prominently in my false submission. So you did do it. Inko, please, I can explain. I didn't have a choice. What? I know what I did was wrong, but I didn't have any other way. It wasn't a choice to not trick me. She avoids looking at me, focusing on the scraps of paper scattered around the floor like confetti. It wasn't to trick you, I just... I get it, you're mad at me. I'm not mad. I'm just confused. I thought we were good friends. I wasn't expecting it. Expecting you. She pauses to give her throat some respite. The usual water bottle isn't anywhere nearby. A shaky breath escapes her mouth. When you came around, I thought you were no different than the others. That you were some self-centered, pretentious midwit who only cares about his image. That's when I got the idea of using you to swap out your art with mine. You didn't seem like the kind of person who cared about how he gets the attention from others, just that he gets it. The description of my character feels really reductive, but the ache in my chest tells me it hits a little too close to home. Ouch. But that's not what I think of you now. Yarakan's the one person I can trust. So when he went to bat for you saying we'd make good friends, I was worried. What's so special about this guy? I honestly got scared he'd be wrong. That he'd be just like everyone else, and I'd be setting myself up for failure. But wasn't that, Inko? I was afraid he'd be right, and I'd have to face what I'd done to myself. And now I've gone and done something like this. Switching my contest entry? She nods, swallowing hard. I wasn't thinking. Suddenly, everything was out of balance. Everything I'd created, all my work, my own little world, was suddenly changing, and I had no control of it. I just had to do something. I didn't know I was doing that. I'm sorry. I mean, I guess we came in a little bit... Yeah, a little bit too fast in there. She stops to process my words and continues. I knew I'd get caught. It's stupid. I was hoping for it even. Someone to figure out that it was swapped so it would be changed and everyone would be none the wiser. She turns to face me with silver eyes welled with tears. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. I just don't want to go back to being the person I used to be. The person who didn't care about hurting you. Her head tilts downward with a violent pitch of breath. Ivory claws extend and grip at her knees in a painful display, and yet Olivia chokes back any sound she'd make. Her body shudders with every heavy breath from her, and I realize that every last defensive barrier she had was completely gone. Olivia laid herself bare, leaving only the crying girl desperately trying to silence her pitiful tears. Oh my god, and now we are getting this. You know what, part of me really wants to go with the I can't hate you part, because... Yeah, but I need to know, like, for real. I get what's going on, but why did you do it? I'm so ticked off that I cannot pick both options at once. Because I honestly will be, I do not hate you, but I want you to tell me, why did you do this? Let's go. I know that I'm going to push, but I want her to spill the beans. And sometimes it's helpful. I'm going to hate myself for thinking this, but she still hasn't really told me why she did it. I don't want to push the issue too hard, but if not now, when? I just want to know, why go through all the trouble? What were you trying to accomplish? I immediately regret my words, and the pain grimace on her face drives home the mistake she's made. If I'm in a right to ask, I feel like the villain for pressing her, but no, you actually needed to talk about stuff like that. She has to throw it out. It has to settle in. It's cruel, but yeah. Out of respect for Olivia's feelings, I stand steady because to back down would be to denigrate her like all the people in the past had done. That's also a very good approach. I wanted to see what people thought of my art without knowing that I was the one who made it. Why would you want that? Isn't it obvious? It's always the same thing. Her voice takes a deeper pitch. Oh wow, you're so talented in spite of your condition. This time it's a higher, shriller tone. Amazing, it's like you aren't disabled at all. Her voice returns, this time weighed down with contempt. For all their kind words, always came back to those empty platitudes. It never felt like they cared about me or my interest. It was always just blind praise because I'm doomed to never measure up to the same level of expectations. The worst of it came when I found out I couldn't even fail on my own. The sound of her talons tearing more paper on the floor enhances her heated words. Even when I intentionally do something wrong, someone's always there to pick up after me or to assure me it's good in certain lights. She rips more of the page with every sentence. These are just old sketches from through the year. Nobody else has to live with that paranoia. That every positive word spoken and action taken to help you out is just some acting out of obligation or insecurity. It got so bad at one point, I was almost being forced to accept these freaking accommodations. I just ended up... She drops what little remains of the pages unceremoniously, cutting everyone out. I'm never going to come out on top, and I'm never going to be allowed to fail. Nobody's allowed to feel anything but pity for me when they met me, and guilt me when they consider not just giving me a free pass. Nobody has any agency, and that's just how things are. The bell rings from a distance, signaling the end of lunch. Within my mind, I can vividly imagine the sounds of our classmates' grumbling complaints as they shuffle to class. Instead, I choose to listen to the rain, how the soft pitter-patter of droplets land atop my umbrella before slipping gently on the ground around us. Internalizing that sound alongside the dimmer ambience and overall wetness has turned the tiny park I'm accustomed to into a near-alien locale. I wonder to myself if this is why Olivia came out here. In a small way, all of her work seems to revolve around average places but altered with unnatural and beautiful overlayings. Creating from the familiar and yet adding in the fantastical. I look over to Olivia, who also seems to be lost in thought. That does sound pretty tough. You going to be alright? No, honestly, that's only the start of it, but I don't want to. No, you wanted to know, right? I want to tell someone, anyone. Right now it's just Yadakan. I'm sure he's sick of it. Alright? This crap even affects my family. You say that like you don't think they are. They aren't though. I can't change that. She sighs. You're right, I should be a bit more grateful to them, but at the same time, it's like, I know all too fucking well I could just hang out at Payne's for as long as I need to go after graduation. They're just too nice to not, and the arrangement with my actual father could probably last indefinitely. I could just detach from society and leech off everyone around me forever, and it'll still just be pity and guilt. But you saw them at the pool party, they love you. That's a very good point. I know, and I hate it and I want to love them back, but I just can't. Not now. I've already wasted so much, who am I to suddenly turn around in my last year? I want to just get out of the hair and not waste their time anymore. Otherwise, I'll be the one hurting them, wasting all the patience and kindness for years like I already have, and I'd never be in the wrong. Who the fuck wants a free ride through life like that? And that's all I have waiting for me realistically. Oh, that's a very defeated way of thinking, but yeah. Damn it, why am I telling you all this? Olivia clutches her throat. Her voice has gotten strained and weak. It hurts to speak at all, but she's just been letting it all out. Hell, what am I doing just watching? I'm such an idiot. I rummage through the insides of my backpack again until... here it is. Pulling out a water bottle, I offer it to her. She eyes on the ground indifferently, then goes to drink it. The whole bottle is finished in one go, and she drops in the growing pile of trash. Thanks. I give a silent nod. She looks off into the distance again, picking up her train of thought. That's why I had to do it. I had to know if I really was good at something for once. Really, genuinely good. No false praise, no parasocial relations where I'm verbally fellated so everyone else can feel better for it. I had to know my art was real. That I could be something for real. That I have a real way out. Yet Akan assures me all the time it's good enough. Fuck, why didn't I listen to him? He probably knows everything by now anyways, he usually does. Honestly, taking all of this in at once is a challenging to digest, to say the least. You said you expected to get caught? Yeah, I said I wanted to be. I wasn't even sure other people would see it. If you caught it fast enough and switched it back, thinking it was a bug. Then you started getting all this praise out of nowhere. Yeah, I did. Seems a bit sad in retrospect. Yeah, around then it really settled in just how badly I messed up. I tried to get you to notice by showing me the submission yourself. Then you just go to the office to get it changed, nobody would get hurt, end of story. But of course you still had your own saved. You're always just so prepared for anything. She gestures to the crushed water bottle. The weeks go by, you get more praise, I get more nervous. Then today and... Olivia's hands finally fell into her lap, limp and spent. Here we are. It's my turn to say something, I guess. I just don't know how to process all this. It's not like friendships come with instructions. My own thoughts are muddled, pushing me to find some way to comfort the girl before me. And yet to comfort her would be to demean her like people have done in the past. It's so confusing, and frustration and pity mix haphazardly in my stomach. It's nauseating. Pity for the girl before me that was wrong, but that has wronged me, but not out of real malice. Frustration at myself because Olivia was right, having unveiled an uglier side of me I wasn't aware of. Press no further on Olivia, let her fail. Oh god, I think I know what this option means. Because pressing no further would basically mean that we'll be just like everybody else. Okay, you did this shit, but you had your reasons, and you have specific conditions, I understand. And I mean, just a bit ago she was complaining to us that nobody even allows her to fail. And I know that it might sound cruel, but I guess this is the better out of the two, let's say, evils in this case. This is the lesser evil. Yes, you fucked up and your condition does not give you a free pass or a get out of jail card. I'm really sorry, Olivia, but we are pushing this. My thoughts land on what Olivia said earlier in the conversation. You going to tell Principal Scalar? Olivia flinches a bit. Principal? Why? About what you did? You said you expected to get caught. We can't tell them officially anything about that. Olivia shifts uncomfortably in a spot. Why not? If they found out, it's all over. Isn't that a bit extreme? Honestly, it'll be the end for you too. It's my turn to flinch. Olivia's getting worked up again. New fear starts spiking through her eyes. I don't need to ask Olivia, answers anyways. You didn't talk about it until now. Asher is nearly guaranteed to win. With the stakes, it looks like you were complicit. Or worse, like it was your idea. You'd be a fraud. There's that word again. Fraud. No. That word all over my record in senior year? When I'm about to have to find a career? Yeah, that might be... yeah. But even so, isn't it the right thing to do? I can handle it. Don't worry about me. Please, Inko, no! There's more. I told you I'm not eligible to even enter. I already won before. I got the notoriety and money. The winning piece is featured on the cover of Vocal Drum Monthly and even gets an article. That's more than a scholarship. It's a foot in the door. They can't do anything about the money, it's long gone. But if everyone knows what I did, and it gets those magazines... She clutches the sleeves on her hoodie and stares me dead in the eye. I needed to graduate. I fucking hate it, but I need it. Caught in a stalemate. I'm so sorry for you. That's my only way out, my only way to actually go somewhere. You're putting all your eggs into that one basket? There's no other baskets. I just can't risk it. I know I just carried on about why does nobody let me fail, but this... it's serious. They can't know. Please, Inko. I can't lose everything over this mistake. I just can't. I can't. Rod. God, not that. But isn't it... Olivia grabs the sides of my jacket and yanks herself close. The motion tips the umbrella over. It slides a few feet away in the breeze. It makes her almost lose her balance and fall over onto me. Her breathing is erratic. Inko, listen to me. Please, I can't lose this. I can't be doomed to be nothing. That's all I have. You can't go to someone about this. I'm begging you. Oh my god. This is tugging at every single heartstring that I have. She's tugging me towards the ground close to her. My jacket's starting to tear. I can feel her anxiety by how her hands are quivering with fear as they grip tight at my coat. It's my fault, okay? Not yours. You don't need to make it your problem. Please. Okay, nobody else has to know. It'll have to be our little secret. Olivia exhales and lets go. All at once she slumps down. I have to hold out my arms to stop myself from falling too. Olivia ends up slumped over my lap sideways. Oh. Hey, you okay? No, I'm really not. The Gator girl tries to push herself up from my lap. Her attempt only ended up with her twisting on my legs and turning her face and chest upward. She must be really exhausted, as even her attempt to blow her wet hair from her face is unsuccessful. God damn it, is this what it's all come to? I got away with it too. Fuck, I'm just like Ben. You have the energy to get up? Not yet. Olivia? What's wrong with Ben? How are you like him? That's a good question I was about to ask. She exhales hard. Ben. It's all his fault. All of it. If not for him, I wouldn't be this thing. Some worthless heap unable to do anything with nothing and nobody. None of this would happen. This sounds like something I shouldn't be prying into. You don't need to tell me. Yeah, I don't. But I did this to you, I should be honest. Can you get off my legs first? I'm starting to lose feeling. You too? Heh. Fine. Can you help me up at least? I take Olivia's shoulder and help her back into her sitting position by me. She just leans back against my shoulder. Sorry, been a long day. I guess it's fine for now. Where do I even start? That Ben. I don't even remember how we became friends. But we definitely hung out a lot in my last year of middle school. He didn't care that I was in the chair, didn't treat me any different. He was cool. What's the issue then? Olivia bops my chin with her skull. Let me finish. He was cool. But in freshman year, back then, Ben was only in the student council as a secretary. I was looking forward to the yearly art show. Worked all summer for the perfect piece, Dreamscape. Disdain was heavy in her tone as she said its name. Yeah, it won. It wasn't supposed to. Once again, her eyes were teary, though with rage this time. My mouth clicked shut as she glared at me. Her eyes closed and her tone was once again sorrowful. Ben started Ben started advertising himself as my friend, like it was some sort of part of his own personality. The sight that escaped her carries years of her repressed anger. Even his friends started doing it too, like being around me was an act of charity that made them better. He eventually told me straight up, I'll give him that. Her voice shifted again, but this time instead of a voice to lampoon someone, it was an eerie testament to Ben. I'm universally down on my luck. Not even a week later, people started walking up to give praise to my submission. It was the first time in a while I'd gotten a compliment for my work. I thought my submission was going to win. It was exciting. Until Damien showed me an article in the school newsletter written by a certain student council secretary. Half of it was basic crap about the art submissions, the other half was about me. Ben had written the longest segment about the talented poor girl in the wheelchair and practically worshipped me for my determination. Surprise, surprise, it wins by a landslide. Even when my piece won, all I could remember was that feeling, just being handed the victory as charity. My whole summer, all that effort just overshadowed, and for what? A safety net that I didn't earn. Okay, that can definitely fuck with someone, and I'm so sorry to hear, Olivia. He really thought I was going to thank him. That's the worst part, honestly. As if I would after using me as a stepping stone to climb the social ladder. I couldn't take it anymore. I told him to get out of my life, and he just gave me this look. I'll never forget it. Genuine confusion, like I was an alien for being upset. But what he said, this is your only chance of succeeding out there. I wanted to just give it all up. But by then, the money, the exposure, his fucking safety net. I just took it. He was right. He was right and I hate it. I really, really, really fucking hate it. So that's what's between Ben and Olivia. I figured it was something, but geesh. After that, I just couldn't. I shut everything out, everyone out. Everyone is fake, everyone didn't want to know me just what I exist as, even my own family. Hell, it's all his fault. All of it. This might be a little bit more complicated than just pinning it on Ben. Well, what? That's it, that's the truth. I just want to graduate and get away from here, from him. He ruined my life. Because of him, I'm not Olivia. I'm Olivia, the poor sad cripple. That tile is forever fixed to my name. Come on, that's not true. You're right, it's not. You're Olivia. No, that's also not it. I'm not Olivia, I'm God's funniest joke. I nudged the umbrella back over to us. It goes back into its spot, propped up between us, recreating the canopy shielding us from the elements. Olivia looks to me to gauge a reaction. That was the sort of speech given by someone that's had years to think about it and hold it in. And it was one she'd been waiting to give anyone willing to listen, if she could just trust them. All her pent-up angst against the guy that ruined her life. At least at the moment, she just couldn't take it anymore. It can't get much worse than this for her, but she trusts me. What she needs to hear right now is... I promise I'll be a good friend to you. You can still take back the reins of your life and own your mistakes. You know what, as much as the top option, the friend, sounds really nice, it's also kind of almost like a fluff. And I believe that Olivia right now needs to hear something a little bit more firm, but something that will actually push her forward. I take my sunglasses off and lean forward, placing a hand on her shoulder. She takes a moment to register a new sight and looks right at me, anticipating whatever I'm about to say. You're not a joke, Olivia. I appreciate you crying and all, but it doesn't matter, the damage has been done. All that shit is what made me into a nihilist. I wouldn't say you're a nihilist, Olivia. Plus, I don't think that's what the word means. You still enjoy some things. Got a better word? Well, there you go. That's besides the point. Ben did something horrible. But he didn't take your agency. Are you saying that I ruined my own life? Is that it? Annoyance bubbles up within me as she argues back. She wanted to get caught in the act. Yet Olivia looks at me as if I just spat in her face. Just what the hell are you getting at, Inko? What am I getting at? The fact that you can't keep using Ben's shitty choices as a crutch. That's perfect. That's honestly perfect. Inko, proud of you. Her breath catches. You need to take responsibility for your own life, who you are and what you want to be. My words catch Olivia off guard. They keep coming, unbidden now. You say that you're a nihilist. Yet you draw these amazing pieces that reflects these realistic fantasy worlds. And you say that no one wants to know you for you, but you know you have the pains Yada can Liz, me. Can you really blame any of that on Ben? Even the art contest. Ben didn't yank some evil string of fate and make you swap out the submission. You made yourself do it. I know it's hard, I have trouble with this too, but at least for all of us, take responsibility for your feelings, Olivia. Perfect. Fucking perfect. Inko, you're great. Oh, shit. Damn it, mouse. My tirade had left Olivia staring at me, mouth hung open, aghast at what I had said. I hiss in realization and try to backtrack. So... Oh, okay, she cut us off. Fuck you. Stopping completely, Olivia's head raises from my shoulder and she glares at me. Her eyes are heartbroken. They're enraged, they're looking for something to lash out at. But they're trusting. Fuck you. For being right. I know all that, damn it, and you're the second to say it. Her eyes water and her head returns to my shoulder. Damn it, Olinko. I'm stunned as she presses further against me, even using her arms to tuck her legs closer. You and the other can had... Fine. You're right, but... How do I start? I have no idea what I should do. Her voice sounds so weak, but there's conviction hidden within it. Honestly, she had to just mold me for what I said. It's what she wants, I can't do this. Well, what do you think is wrong right now? You'll have to be more specific. Alright. What about Damien and his family? She comes in thought. And then there's Liz too. All of them would probably like to hear your thoughts. Yeah. What would I say though? Whatever you're feeling? Hell, just being more open in general would be something. I can feel her frowning, but also nod against my shoulder. Fine, what else? Mr. Yarakan? She scoffs. He probably already knows. What are you thinking? Yeah, he reads me like a book. But he'd probably like to hear you say it. Yeah, he would. And? And me too. You got your turn. You told me just now, but I'd like to hear more about you. You're my friend. Alright. Starting now. I can feel her rumbling growl before she sighs. I'm sorry, Inko. For all the shit I put you through since you got here. For being a really shitty friend. For you having to put up with me. I chose to be your friend, Olivia, so don't apologize for that. Olivia looks up at me through the corner of her eye. Ben can't take your agency, and you can't take mine. I'm choosing this. Ha! You're silly. Her words were strained and not from lack of water. The regret in her voice was raw, along with honesty. Thanks. And I forgive you. And once again, silence. I fumbled my sunglasses debating where I should bother with them given the rain. Might as well, I guess they're a prescription after all. We just lay back, listening to the patter of rain against our little tent. Just her and I secluded from the woods that's done so much to crush her. Man, she's really leaning against me. I crane my neck so I can turn and look at her. She looks so at peace now, even with the smeared mascara and wet hair. I'm starting to lose feeling in my arm though. And watching her like this is... Was that a snore? I guess she will be pretty tired. It's been a long day for both of us. Even if it's only 4th period. Did I do alright? Things turned out pretty okay, but I'm anxious. The best I can do is be there for her. In this case, it's letting her have my shoulder for a bit. Pressed up against me. My eyes slide close, and I try to lose myself in the pitter-patter of the rainfall. Oh my god. Olivia jerks herself up and starts coughing in her fist. Fuck, how long? About 5 minutes, probably. Jeez, sorry. You know, I remember when you got onto me for just sitting near you back at the party. Shut up. Looks like you're improving a bit. Olivia bongs the umbrella, making it splash a bit onto me. Hey! Anyway. Olivia stretches her arms. Things go quiet again. Olivia finally breaks the silence. I know you say forgive me and all, but I still feel like shit for putting you through all this. Now everyone's going to expect you to be skilled at painting. They'll call you a fraud. Oh yeah, I was trying not to think about it. Damn it, it's all my fault. Olivia rests her arms over her knees, and I'm surprised she manages to bury her lungs snoot in them. An idea hits me. What have you taught me for real? Olivia raises her head from her arms. Taught you? Painting, for real. It's like you say, I have expectations to fulfill. Will you teach me how to paint like you do? I don't know. Tell you what, I'll forgive you if you teach me. You already said that. Olivia looks down in contemplation. Alright, I'll teach you how to paint. But you should know I'm a lousy teacher. You've seen my work in class, I'm a lousy student. I got a feeling it'll work out. Hey, don't make it weird. Yes, Professor Halford. Stop making it weird. I chuckle as I'm playfully shouted by her. After everything was said and done, things became quiet. Beneath the soles of my umbrella, we relax together. At least until Olivia begins shifting uncomfortably. I sit and watch as she takes her calls and shifts them to her side with one hand. Her tail comes around and presses into the paper-filled floor before her, keeping her upright as she starts to lean forward. Finally, with the strength of her tail and one arm, Olivia lifts her hips from the floor and swings her shins fully beneath her. She smiles as she kneels over me. You just going to sit there? Crap, I guess I was gawking stupidly. But it's just so fascinating seeing the girl maneuver herself in these odd yet well-practiced ways. I'm kind of jealous, actually. I wish I had a tail to do some of the things she could. I press my hands down on the floor and push myself up. I don't know why. I had thought to stand, but instead I shifted myself to a kneeling position too. We're face to face now. Okay, so we got to hug the Gator. Great. For a split second I feared the worst as Olivia drew me into a hug. I don't know what she would do, but this... I like this. How strong her arms are, how they're wrapped around my chest feels exceptionally tender. My own arms have enveloped her, returning the embrace in a similarly soft way. And as her arms loosen, I draw back, though I don't want to take my hands off her. That was nice. Don't make it weird. Sorry about that, Hef. Through the sound of rainfall hitting the umbrella, my ears suddenly pick up the noise of what sounds like squeaking? I look down and see that there's something shuffling in Olivia's pocket. Aw, cute. A little beast emerges from its hiding spot with a squeaky yawn, to which Olivia offers her hand for it to use as a platform. Hey, little guy, nearly forgot about you. Had a nice nap? That's a rat. Alright, you two haven't met each other. Inko, this is Guts. Wait, Guts? Okay, so the girl we have a crush on is into anime, and into the good kind. I really respect that. Guts, meet Inko. Oh, hi Guts. I awkwardly wave at the apprehensive-looking rodent. Olivia lifts Guts to her shoulder gracefully, like her hand is an elevator for him. You brought him to school? Well, yeah, I just really needed him today since, you know, all the crap that's happened. She gives Guts a few scritches under his chin. I bring him sometimes when things get rough. And nobody noticed? You haven't. Touché. Yadakan did once. He just told me not to let him run around the school, otherwise it would be considered a health hazard or something. The tardy bell rings out in the distance. We're late for our next classes. I'm sure Yadakan will understand. We should probably get back to class. Here, hold this. I give Olivia the umbrella so she and the rat can stay dry while I go fetch the wheelchair. By now it's settled some into the mud. This wheelchair has definitely seen better days. After dusting off the dirt and pulling water the best I can, I make my way back. Thanks. She opens the umbrella back, but I make sure to hold it above her. I keep the wheelchair steady with one hand as Olivia climbs into the seat, using her tail to help herself up. Aww, this is freaking adorable. We stand in the rain in silence for a moment, only sharing content glances. So, what do we do about the contest now? That's a good question. Ben was there when I saw my name on the painting. He already went to tell someone. So, like you said, no harm, no foul. What about your own submission? I ruined it. I scratched the back of my head. It wouldn't have won anyway, it's just a picture. Oh, I thought it was pretty okay. Hearing those words from Olivia sent a strange flash of heat to my face. It's not unpleasant, but again, those honest words from her really do cut through me for some reason. Thanks. A loud squeak draws my eyes to Guts as he stands atop Olivia's shoulder. You too? A wry smile stretches across Olivia's face. I think it means Guts is saying it's actually so-so. Hey, cut on some slack, Guts. Inko didn't have any time to make anything for the contest. He's got some high standards. Yep, it's why I've gotten so good. The sheer absurdity of it. I don't know which of us broke first, but our laughter filled the air, heard only by us as rainfall cuts off all other noise. So, now what? I don't know. I don't want to go yet. Still pretty worn out. Worn out? A smile crosses my face as a wicked idea comes to mind. Welp, too bad. What? I walk around behind Olivia, grinning like a mad idiot. Inko, what are you doing? Inko? Inko! Her head tries to follow me as I stand right behind her chair. I figure that pushing your chair around is really tiring, so how about I help you out? Olivia blushes and looks away. Fine, but just for today. Returning to the campus was certainly awkward. Passerby shoots us looks. It's not the most common scene to see a girl in a wheelchair just rolling in sopping wet and tracking mud in. More likely, though, it was because said girl had taken to using my umbrella to hide herself from those looks. She was already extremely red in the face. It was a conundrum. Drop the umbrella and let people see her? Or keep it up and draw more attention? I shall name it the Nito theorem. She's gonna kill me if I ever attempt to publish it. But making her way back to Olivia's school and class, she simply shook her still concealed head. I didn't really have much of a choice. From all that I knew of the girl, her last classes were all on the upper levels. And she was in possession of the elevator key. And I was in possession of the weakest knees here in St. Helena, at least according to Coach Sully. So I wheeled her to my current photography class. On the way over, she keeps bending her head back to peek at me, like she's making sure I'm still there. Knocking on his closed door, the terror professor didn't even bat an eye at the poorly hidden girl. He simply stepped aside and let us through. Ben was looking our way, but I chose to pay him no mind. After everything I heard, Olivia didn't even register he was here. She simply rolled herself to the back of the classroom and through a door into what I always guessed was Yarakan's supply closet. You know what, I'm an idiot. It's a dark room, isn't it? The stares of my other classmates abated thankfully as our teacher continued his lecture. Taking my own seat, I focused on Yarakan. As much as I could at least. My muddled thoughts kept me distracted the whole period. Just before the bell rings, Yarakan stares me dead in the eye. He points a stern figure directly at me, then to the floor to signal, "You, stay." Ooh. And I think this is a good cut-off point. I know that this episode is like twice the length of what I normally do, but I honestly wanted to roll out the story and see what's going on because, okay, at first I feel like it was a relatively important choice with helping Olivia against the bullies, but then the whole thing with auditorium started and with the art and her confession, And I feel like just stopping it somewhere in the middle would do the entire story a great disservice. So I know that this episode is really, really long, but yeah, it's not going to be the new standard. It's just so happened that I did not want to interrupt the entire thing going forward, let's say. So after an almost 2 hour long episode, it's time for me to wrap everything up. I really hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Have a great one.